Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to discuss about two gas masks, the Hungarian 67M and the 75M. This is not very usual, but today I'm going to have a small collaboration with my friend from Hungary, István, and he's going to talk about the history of this gas mask. So please welcome my friend István.
Hello! So, today I'd like to make a video for Robert, or well, contributing to his video on this 75 and 67M. Thank you, Robert, for that. Really appreciating it, brother. I'll be talking about the history of the 75M, whom they were issued to, and I'll be talking about the filters in depth, what they contain and like that. So let's begin. The 75M was a Hungarian civilian gas mask that was used from 1975 to the 1990s. It was made by Medicorp, and its civil defense counterpart, an earlier counterpart, the 67M, was basically the same, but it had the 60M, and it had the 60M lenses and the 60M valve. Basically that's it. It was used by civil defense, and it was later used by the industry. Well, it was hinted that it was used by the industry because there were 75Ms found in a very poor condition, with very poor condition medical filters, like industrial filters. That's basically it for the history of it. Let's move on to the filter itself, because this is the filter itself. Many people think this, it's the PMG or GP. No, this is not a GP5 nor a PMG filter. It's like the PMG filter, but it's not. Mostly because it doesn't have EO something K on it. It has the serial number here, and sometimes it has the MIO, the minőség ellenőrzési osztály, the quality assuring, I don't know, some people who issue quality. It's made by Medicorp, and you might see, if you have a Medicorp filter like the boss, like me, or Robert, you might see that they are basically the same. Well, because they are made by the same template, and later by Comasec. These were made by, the same template was used by Comasec, but we will talk about it later. The filter is I really like the filter because it's a bit lighter than the PMG, and I think it's a bit, I'm not sure about the effectiveness, but yeah, it just looks better. Blends in more with the Hungarian things, the Hungarian camouflage things. So yeah, that's it. This is the little intake. It has a 14mm ghost thread, as many Soviet or KGST things. This is the manufacturing year, and for many Americans, they think that we still use this filter. Come on, Hungary isn't that, we use the ARFA, but we don't use Soviet era masks. Come on. This is the more precise date code, more precisely the month of production and the day of production. This is the series number right here. This is a CBRN rated filter. I thought we'd have to say that, but let's talk about the more technical data, like what's in the filter itself. Well, the filter has there are two layers, as you can see, separated. They made an AB filter out of the top part, and there was this particulate part that no one likes and everyone hates. It contains 4 to 6% asbestos, kind of the same as with the GP5 filters. So yeah, there are rumors about some asbestos-free filters, but we got mixed results. Basically, if your filter is taller than the average 70M filter, then you got an asbestos-free one, a safe one, if you will. Basically, that's it. Also, there were these very early series filters. I'll make a video about those in the distant future. I have another thing to do right now. Yeah, that's it about the filter, and I think cutting back to Robert. So yeah, it was a pleasure, Robert.
Thank you a lot, István. I hope you guys liked the presentation. I'm going to talk a bit about the face pieces in details and a little bit about the kits themselves. We'll start obviously with the 67M, which was introduced around the late 60s. Both of these gas masks are very interesting when it comes to the design. About the construction of the 67M, it was manufactured, by the way, by Medicor. It has a 5-point head harness, but it's very uncommon compared to other gas masks. It is made of elasticated straps, and it also has a neck strap. The eyepieces are obviously round, made of glass, and they stay in place by pressure using crimped rings. What's interesting about this gas mask is that it is made out of rubber coated with canvas, and I do not know if I can call them like that, but as reference, the peripheral seal is made out of natural leather. The valve assembly it's very similar to the one used on the 60M, but as you can see in the pictures, this one doesn't have the small parts that would connect to the TSO tubes, because it doesn't have any TSO tubes. So fogging it's quite a problem for this gas mask if you don't use the accessories that come with. Besides that, what's very interesting about this gas mask, not only the 67M but also the 75M, is that a lot of people say that it looks like it's from World War II or maybe even World War I. I gotta agree, it's kind of a bit maybe outdated design for the late 60s and even late 70s. They were mass produced, and the 67M, including the 75M, was issued to civilians and obviously the civil defense, and they were also stored by the military, but they were never actually used by the military, maybe just for training. The 67M kit would come obviously with a 67M face piece. It would come with either a 51M or a 60M filter and bag, and also with a hose that would also come from the 60M or 51M. The kit itself would also come with a anti-fogging pen, the only solution to not get some foggy lenses on this gas mask. Going to the 75M, that is usually mistaken for being 76M. I do not understand why people call it like that. Maybe just reverse the numbers because they are very similar. And a small detail about the one that you can see here, it's that it is quite an anomaly. It is not 100% a 75M. Why I'm saying that, and I wouldn't notice this before some Hungarian collectors pointed it out, is that the eyepieces are the same as on the 67M, and they do not have an explanation for this anomaly. As I said, they just believe it is basically a 67M face piece but with a 75M valve assembly. You would see in the following pictures that the eyepieces used for the 75M are quite different, but not that much compared to the previous 67M. It still has the 5-point head harness, a neck strap, they are also elasticated, and the valve assembly, it's quite unique, I might say. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but I've never seen another valve assembly with a similar design. It's made out of plastic, it might be as well bakelite, and it still doesn't have any TSO tubes, so you still have to use different accessories from the kit, so you don't have problems with the fogging of the lenses. The kit itself, it's a bit different. This time it would come with a 70M filter, with a filter sock, anti-fogging pen, and this time it will have its own carrier, the PV75M, or simply the 75M carrier. A thing that I want to mention is that these gas masks come in 4 sizes, from 1 to 4, 1 being the smallest and 4 being the largest. For the 75M there is also a variant, a hooded one, but considering that I do not own it and I cannot inspect it in detail, I won't talk too much about it. As I said about the 67M, the 75M was also issued to the civilian population, the civilian defense, and it was also stored by the army. Interestingly enough, considering the design, it's the exact same thing as the 67M, rubber coated with canvas, and the peripheral seal, it's made out of animal leather. It was issued since the obviously mid 70s to early 90s. And after the fall of communism, as in many Eastern European countries, there wasn't a replacement variant for civilian population since civil defense wasn't taken seriously that much after the fall of communism. What's interesting about this gas mask is it is in Russia and ex-Soviet countries with the GP5 being extremely widespread. In Hungary, you can find these gas masks like everywhere. That's what Hungarians tell me, that they are extremely common. It is not something unusual to find one in your own house, your own apartment block, your basement, or something like that. Well, I think that's everything about these two gas masks, which in my opinion, they might not be the most practical ones, but collecting wise, they are quite interesting pieces to own. I want to thank Istvan for collaborating with me on this video and on his M74 video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and see you next time. Bye.